all of us have parasites. All of us. I mean, I think there's like all Americans, I read a study this, all Americans have parasites, but what we don't want is we don't want an infestation of parasites because that will make us very, very sick. We have to have a disclaimer. This our disclaimer. The information provided in this presentation has been proven both effective and beneficial for hundreds of years. However, due to certain laws and restrictions, the information provided is not to diagnose, claim to prevent, mitigate, or cure such conditions, nor to provide a diagnosis. Therefore, if you are ill, have any disease, are pregnant, or just improving your health, we are required to tell you to consult a medical doctor for medical advice, treatment, and services. Okay. And I will say that please don't just take my word for it. I've done a lot of research. I've done a lot of reading as far as parasites. I've talked to people who have experienced parasites and things like that. And I encourage you to also do your own research. I encourage you to, to search it out for yourself too. Okay. All right. Did you know that all Americans carry parasites in their body? And this is actually a picture of a hookworm. It looks kind of scary, like in the movies, but most of these parasites are too tiny to be seen by the naked eye. But they can cause non-specific symptoms. Most of us are unaware that we are even infected, lasting for years and years without even being detected. However, having parasites can also be very debilitating. And sometimes, these some of these parasites can cause like hormonal issues, skin issues, and things like that. We'll talk about um, as we go along. And parasites weakens your immune system, and they also this I learned from Sister Dana, who's also a medical missionary, and I'll be sharing with you a little bit about her testimony. You can follow her on YouTube as well. They also absorb heavy metals. Okay, so if you have parasites, and if you're concerned about heavy metals, I wouldn't suggest that you just, do the heavy metals without clearing out the parasites, because these parasites tend to absorb these heavy metals. Okay. And although some of them are microscopic, they can still grow up to 12 meters long or 30 feet long. And they not only live in your intestines, but they also they can live in your blood, your lymph nodes, your other organs like your brain, your liver, which we'll talk about as well. Okay. Hmm. Okay. And then here are different types of parasites that you could definitely find in the body. And roundworm, it's more common in children, and it's usually ingested as eggs that soon hatches into a larva. And they come out at night because the bed is warm. So when your child is sleeping at night, um, because the bed is pretty warm, these roundworms will actually come out. So if you have children, I would highly suggest that you check for that as they're asleep. Hookworms, like the one you saw earlier, they look kind of scary, like a monster, and these you can get from basically contaminated soil, or if you're walking barefoot, they actually make a hole in your feet, and they can live for up to 2 years. Okay. Liver flukes, they like to reside in your liver, and ingestion of these flukes from infested raw fish, these like to settle in your bile ducts and live there for 20 to 30 years. That's a long time. And then tapeworms, look at the tapeworm. It looks pretty scary to me because it has kind of like these little sharp thingies, and it's like a hook. And you can get these from eating poorly cooked meat like pork, fish, beef, and tapeworms are the ones that grow 20 feet long in the intestine. Okay. So, and if you accidentally consume an embryo, they can burrow in your skin, muscle, eyes, and your brain. Okay. Especially eating pork. I'm sure most of you know this, but even when you cook pork, you fry it, you do whatever you need to do, it still doesn't kill the parasites. It doesn't kill the parasites, and you're ingesting that. The nematodes, like whipworms, happens when hands or fingers that have been contaminated by dirt on them are put in the mouth, and also by consuming vegetables or fruits that have not been properly cooked, washed, or peeled. I always tell the children, my children are always outside. They love playing in the soil. But I always tell them, I'm like, please wash your hands, especially after we eat, because you just never know. And we have dogs. We have 2 dogs outside running around. So you just never know. Wash your hands, right? And protozoas, these are mostly the microscopic ones like giardias. And they can live under your fingernails for up to 6 months. Okay. And you can get that from contaminated soil, food, and water as well. But the bottom line is that, these parasites are eating your food. They're eating all of the nutrients that even if you're eating healthy foods, they're eating all of that. They're taking away your nutrition. They're also releasing toxins. They're pooping in your body. They're living rent free. So evict them. Please evict them, especially if it's causing you much sickness. This slide, as you can see, it looks kind of gross, right? But this is a patient from India who was complaining of both pain and itching in his eyes. And they found him to have ocular filariasis, and it's transmitted through mosquito bites. Mosquito bites. I remember my testimony on parasites is when I was so excited. I had never been to Georgia, and we were there to do a 1 week medical missionary training. And when we got there, I was so excited, and I was, jumping for joy. I'm like, there's so many trees compared to where I'm at. Oh, I love this area. I get out of the car, and the what do you call that? What do you call that, honey? The temperature? No, the humidity. It was the humidity that got to me in the beginning. I'm like, wow, it's really humid. It fogged up my glasses and everything. But I still enjoyed it. I loved the scenery. I loved all the trees. And 3 days into it, I could not wait to go back home. And I was actually praying to the Lord. I said, Lord, I will never complain about where I live ever again. I know you placed me in this place you put me in this place for a reason. I will never complain about Wilcox ever again. I wanted to actually kiss the dirt when we got home. What's that?
Arizona.
Yes, in Arizona. And so what happened was, while I was there, there I had never experienced chiggers in my life. I didn't even know what they were. Never knew what chiggers were. And I got a lot of bites. Some of them got infected, and they were very itchy. And then one day I also found a tick on my scalp while I was taking a shower. And it was, I started to panic. I'm like, oh no, like, I hope it's not a tick. And it turned out to be a really fat tick. And so, people say as long as it's not the one that causes Lyme and things like that, you have nothing to worry about, and everything. So I said, okay, that's fine. I came to terms with it. But then I would say after a few months, those bites got infected. Some actually took a long time to heal. And I said, what is going on? Like, how come it's not healing? Like, it would heal up and crust up, and then it would open back up again. I said, what is going on? And at first it was just on my, some bites were on my arms, and then I found some on my back. And then it went on my legs, and then it went on my face. And to the point where it covered my whole face. I could not do God's work. I couldn't go to church for like 2 weeks. No one really knew. I didn't tell anybody that I was even going through this issue. And I had done everything. I at that time, I stopped eating anything inflammatory. I thought it was gluten. So I had a food sensitivity test done, allergy test done. And really, when the results came back, the only thing that I was really allergic to was mildly allergic to was bell peppers. So I was like, what is this? And then I saw a video from Sister Dana Giselshin, and you can look her up on YouTube, and some of you actually know her. And I'm like, maybe it's parasites. I thought at first it was scabies, but if it was scabies, my family would also get it, but it wasn't. So I said, okay, I'll just do a parasite cleanse and see what happens, and so I did, and I started to actually feel better. But it took me, I think the last time I even experienced anything remotely similar to what I've experienced, not was maybe last year, when I got some remaining of the rash, and I had it on my finger. But other than that, I haven't experienced it again. And I'm sure when I did the parasite cleanse, a lot of these parasites you'll only see about 30%, because a lot of them die off when you do a parasite cleanse. So we'll get more into that in just a minute. But that was my experience with it. I made sure to do everything that I needed to do. I stayed away from foods that I need to stay away from. I even got really strict with our diets. We incorporated a lot of things, eat even better, just to make sure that that we do our part to eradicate whatever it was that was attacking me. Okay, but I would keep in mind, like, any itching, any rashes, skin rashes, and things like that. If you've done everything, but it's still flaring up, I would highly consider you looking into, maybe it is parasites. Okay. Here you'll see the sources of parasitic infections. You can get it from your pets. Basically, if you have pets in your house, you have parasites. Okay, imagine like your dog. We have dogs and we see them all the time. They're licking themselves and they're licking their private parts and things like that. And then they go and lick your face or lick your cheeks. Okay, something to keep in mind, right? Eating meat and its byproducts. We talked about pork a little bit. Um, even eggs contain microscopic eggs. Okay. And that's where you could probably, get some parasites as well. Contaminated tap water, raw undercooked food, even fruits and vegetables you buy at the store, and those may contain parasites because you don't know how they've been handled. You don't know, how much hygiene they practice. So you just never know. And I would definitely wash fruits and vegetables, especially fruits, soak it in vinegar for a few minutes, 10 to 15 minutes, or lemon juice and baking soda and things like that. Eating diet high in sugar. Parasites love sugar. They thrive on it. They love it. It feeds them. Same thing with processed foods. Anything white, like white pasta, white rice, white bread, those turn into sugar in your body. Okay. So I would definitely stay away from foods like that. Antibiotics are same thing. Antibiotics, especially if you've taken a lot of antibiotics or you continue to take antibiotics, it destroys everything. You have nothing fighting for you. You have nothing, fighting these parasites in your body. Okay. There's a lot of natural antibiotics that you can take, like golden seal is powerful, echinacea, pal d'arco, and things like that. If you're wanting to cut down on some of these antibiotics, swimming in natural bodies of water or contaminated pools will also contribute to you getting parasites. Okay. So this one I thought was pretty interesting when I saw it when I heard Sister Dana um present it. She's and I did look it up. You can find it on CBS News. There's a lot of articles on it, but basically 72% of shopping carts contain E. coli and other viruses and bacteria, even door handles. So please, please, please wash your hands. And for me, this has always been my basically my routine. When I go to the bathroom, I wash my hands afterwards, and then I take a paper towel, and that's what I use to open the door, because you never know. People go to the bathroom and they don't wash their hands. Okay. Um, Now at least with the shopping carts, they most places have like disinfectant wipes, and you can wipe the shopping carts. But yes, 72%. That's a whole lot. Here are the signs and symptoms of parasites, okay, having parasites: abdominal pain, bloating, gas, teeth grinding, especially at night, okay, constipation and diarrhea. Sometimes, you know, like I said, if you've done everything and you've made changes with your diet and everything, and the diarrhea, the constipation is still there, you may want to look into parasites. Bad breath, like I mentioned earlier, it causes weakness in it weakens your immune system. Rectal itching, okay, rectal itching, especially at night. Food sensitivities, sugar addiction. All these parasites are eating things, eating all your nutrients, and then you're craving more and more. So I would definitely look into that. Skin issues. I shared with you my testimony: eczema, psoriasis, itchy skin, fatigue, brain fog, anxiety, depression, hyperactivity in children, and allergies, and diseases like cancer, diabetes, depression, arthritis, chronic fatigue. Parasites nearly always play a role. Okay. I remember Sister Dana, her liver was really inflamed, and she looked into parasites, and she found out that parasites were plugging up her bile ducts. So you can get more information from her as well, and she's on YouTube, so you can watch her testimony as well. She has an incredible testimony with her health journey.
What's her
Okay.
name again, please?
Dana Geselshin. They have a web. I'll post her website once I'm finished. But her name is Dana, Danna, and Geselchen. I think it's Gessellchen. I think that's how you spell her name. But she has an incredible testimony as well when it as far as parasites and even mold toxicity. Okay. All right. Now, before starting any parasite detox, I always tell people to please keep your drainage pathways open. Um, a lot of people will say, like, I've done a detox, and for some reason, like, I feel even worse. I feel bad, and I don't feel good. Remember that all of these, your lymphatic system, you need to sweat, you need to poop, you need to pee, you need to spit, coughing and things like that. All those are drainage pathways, and it needs to be open. You need to be sweating. You need to make sure, this is very important. You need to make sure that you are having bowel movements at least 2 to 3 times a day. Most people are constipated. And, some people will tell me, well, I'm pretty regular. What is regular? Okay. They tell me, well, I go once a day. Well, how many times do you eat? 3 times a day. Once a day, if you're eating 3 times a day, is you're considered constipated. Okay. So if you're having 2 to 3 meals a day, you should be going to the bathroom, having a bowel movement 2 to 3 times a day. If you're not, you are constipated. And what's happening is that, all that toxic buildup needs to be eliminated. It's building up in your system. Even if you're eating healthy food, it's just all the toxins and everything, they're just building up, and it's not going anywhere. It's not being released. And same thing when you do a parasite detox, if you're not keeping your drainage pathways open, guess what? All those parasites, all the parasite eggs, they're just there. They're not going anywhere. They're not being expelled. They're not being evacuated, right? And so you could be at risk for also reinfecting yourself from doing that. So make sure that you are having 2 to 3 bowel movements per day, especially if you're doing this cleanse. Okay. And why is that? Why do you think that is so important? Why do you think we need to make sure that our drainage pathways are open? And why is it important that we are taking care of our colon and making sure, we're getting all the toxins out? Why? Because one of the reasons are when you do when you do a parasite cleanse, there's die-off symptoms. Okay. And die-off symptoms, you start feeling like you have the flu. And then sometimes you have sugar cravings, you have a headache, you have brain fog and anxiety, fatigue, insomnia, muscle pain, stomach ache, GI issues. I hear people say, I hear that all the time. They'll tell me, well, I feel even sicker. I don't feel good, but when you go and attack these parasites with a cleanse or a detox, they start to die off. And as they're dying off, they are actually releasing, like chemical signals that releases more eggs to try and survive. So when you when you do a parasite cleanse and you're not having great bowel movements and you're not, you're going to experience these die-off symptoms. Okay. If you are backed up, these parasites are not coming out. Okay. Their bodies actually begin to disintegrate. That's why most of the time, I mentioned this earlier, most of the time you only see like 20-30% in your stool. You need, and most of the time you may not really even see it unless you're actually digging in there. Okay. So just make sure that you're having, good bowel movements 2 to 3 times. They need to come out, especially if you're doing a cleanse. And this cleanse can also, the mimosa pudica, which we'll talk about, very soon. And a lot of these parasite cleanses, they tend to constipate you. So you're going to need to make sure that you take something like a bowel cleanser, a colon cleanse, to help with your bowel movements, making sure that you're constantly having 2 to 3 bowel movements per day. And you also need to take binders like zeolite. Some of you know what zeolite is, charcoal, bentonite clay, green clay and things like that. These are binders. They'll bind to the toxins, they'll bind to the parasites and get them out of your body. Okay. And this will also help with the die-off symptoms. All right. And here we have anti-parasitic foods. We promote a plant-based diet. Okay. So no processed food, meat, dairy products, sugar, especially processed sugar. I would stay away from it. If you're gonna do this cleanse, I would make sure to eat very clean and wholesome. Nothing processed, no sugar. Even really sweet fruits I would try to stay away from. Garlic and onions have anti-parasitic properties. I know that when we went to India, or not India, sorry, when we went to Africa and Kenya, we saw a lot of people with parasites, and they will complain of, my scalp feels itchy, like there's things crawling in it. We saw people with parasites in their skin. You could see it crawling. Wounds had parasites in them.
Mm.
um, it was pretty sad. And some things they may not have, but they have a lot of things there too that we were able to use to help combat these parasitic infections, like garlic. Anywhere you go to, whether it's the Philippines or India or or Africa, there's always something that you can use. God is amazing, and He's given us so many things that it doesn't matter where you're at, in the world, you can use something, right, to help your body heal. There's always garlic. Garlic is a powerful antibiotic. It's antifungal. It's great for parasites. There's also, I know in India, they use a lot of turmeric. So that's what they actually use for parasites. In Japan, they use a lot of ginger to kill these parasites. There's also pumpkin seeds are really good. The black things right there that you see on the screen, they're black walnuts. We'll go into it a little more on the next slide. There's also cayenne pepper in Mexico. I read this in an article that in Mexico, they use cayenne pepper to expel worms. Isn't that amazing? Cayenne pepper has antifungal properties that kill parasites, fungi, and mold in the body.
They also use that. Oh, excuse me.
What's that?
They also use epazote.
Pasote? Oh, yes, you were
Epazote.
telling me about the pasote. Yes, yes.
Epazote,
Right.
yes.
That's right. That's right. Also bitter herbs like dandelion root, bitter melon. I know in the Philippines they use bitter melon and this plant called ipil, and they actually use the seeds from those plants, and that's what they give to the children and people who have parasites, to kill them off and get them out. Please eat a nourishing diet, preferably plant-based, as these parasites are robbing you of so much already. Do not eat partly cooked fish, beef, and pork. Like I mentioned earlier, pork parasites don't ever die, don't even die. Keep your house clean too. Keep your house clean, especially your bedroom and the bathroom. Disinfect your bathroom, wash your fruits and vegetables thoroughly. Sometimes, we overlook our bedrooms. We think, oh, it's the cleanest part of the house. It's not, because that's where you lay, right? If you do have, some parasites, some of those may actually come out at night, right? So make sure that you're constantly cleaning and disinfecting things, okay? There's other things that you can take. Peppermint are also considered anti-parasitic. They're anything bitter, any herbs that are bitter, like bitter melon. What's another one? Milk thistle is very bitter. So all of those have anti-parasitic properties, and the best thing about bitter herbs is that they increase they increase your bile, and they clean out your liver and things like that. So it's very good to have, and it's good to add onto your diet. Okay. And here is the parasite cleanse. Okay. And this I learned a lot from Sister Dana, and she used Mimosa pudica in the same thing that I used as well. And the recommended dosage is 3 to 6 capsules morning and evening on an empty stomach. Okay. Mimosa pudica is one of the names for it. And I remember this when I lived in the Philippines when I was little. I actually used to play with this herb. I didn't even know it had medicinal properties. And one of the names for it is touch me not, because when you run your finger through the leaves, it actually closes up. It's like a shy plant, right? But I had no idea that it's great for parasites, and it's probably the best herb to use to kill parasites, because it not only kills parasites, it's a gut scrub. It scrubs your gut, and then it pretty much stuns the parasites and then suffocates it. Okay. So make sure to continue while you're doing this parasite cleanse. Make sure to continue to increase bile flow by eating those, those greens. You can juice them as well. You can take lemon juice is great in the morning. It definitely helps, increase bile flow. You can also do, while you're taking the Mimosa pudica, you need to combine it with we call it nature's parasite buster. We make a tincture. I know some of you are familiar with our Nature's Parasite Buster, but it has wormwood, black walnut hulls, cloves, fennel, and things like that. Great for parasite eggs and mature parasite eggs, because the Mimosa pudica, okay, no, this one's Nature's Ventilating. But so you can't just take the Mimosa pudica. You have to take it with, wormwood, black walnut hulls, and clove, the anti-parasitic blend. You need to take both. You can't just take one, because the Mimosa pudica will take care of the mature parasites, and the Nature's Parasite Buster will help kill the eggs, especially as they're dying off. Okay, so you have to take both. And then again, you have to take the binders like charcoal and things like that. Okay. Okay. And then again, you need to sweat. You need to keep your drainage pathways open. With chronic illness, it can take up to about 90 days, okay? 90 days to get rid of these parasites, sometimes even longer. If you are just, if you have great health and, you could probably do it annually, okay? Annually. Some people like to do it every quarter, okay? And if you have a chronic illness, you could do it for at least a few weeks, and then you can take a 1 week off. You can take a break and jump on it again. Okay. And here's another one. Here's one that when I first heard of it, I thought I'm like, what is this full moon? Is this even true? Like, is this, I had to really research this out. I thought at first it was like some kind of spiritualism or things like that, or some kind of witchcraft, but I did look into it, and this is probably the best time to get rid of parasites. Why? Because parasites are more active during full moon due to their water content and gravity. So this is the time they also mate, and they are more vulnerable and easier to kill off. Okay. So if you look at the slide, if you're a beginner, you've never done it before, find out when the next full moon is, and you want to start the day before the full moon and start taking the parasite cleanse, and then continue on with the day of the full moon and the day after. So you're doing it for 3 days. Okay. If intermediate, you could do it 2 days before. Okay, so you start the cleanse 2 days before, and then again the day of, and then 2 days after. And then the intense one is advanced, is you start 3 days before, the day of, and 3 days after. Okay. I know some people do this, especially with chronic illnesses. They do it at least quarterly, if not every month. Okay. All right.
I have a question. Can you hear me?
Yes,
Kim?
Ms. Joy. Yes.
So this is a 7-day cleanse right here. But
Yes.
earlier you said it could take up to, 90 days.
Yeah, this is a full moon challenge. So this is like a full moon challenge. So this is basically the best time
to start
or kill off these parasites, because it's easier.
Okay.
They're vulnerable around this time that it's easier for us to kill it, right?
Okay.
But the previous slide, let me go back. Oops, I can't even go back. I can't go back now. But like I said, if you have a chronic illness, it won't go back. Only Ernie. For Ernie, it goes back.
Yeah, for Ernie.
Yes. So this one, the parasite cleanse, you could pretty much do the parasite cleanse at any time, at any given time. So let's say I decide to want to, start attacking these parasites tomorrow. You can start tomorrow. Okay. But I just had the full moon challenge, because that's the time that they're more vulnerable and easier to kill, without even having to go the 90 days. The 90 days is It's more recommended for people who have chronic illnesses.
Okay, got it.
Okay.
Thank you.
All right. You're welcome. You're welcome. And here's the full moon. We went over that. And this one, this is Closer for Jesus is
The
Sister
slide
Dana
hasn't
and
changed. Oh, there it is. Now it's changed.
okay. Sister Dana and Brother Kalon's website. And this is where you can get the parasite cleanse kit. They have the kit available. You know, I recommend her because she has a lot of experience with it. She, you know, she makes the parasite cleanse. She has the Mimosa Pudica seeds. The kit includes Mimosa Pudica anti-parasite blend, colon cleanse, and the activated charcoal. It's part of her kit. I believe her kit is about 120. I don't get anything from them or anything like that, but I believe in the work that they're doing as well. So that's why I am promoting their kit. If you're wanting to do it. And if you know you don't have to get the parasite cleanse from them, you can also, I've had people get some from Amazon. You can pretty much get Mimosa Pudica capsules on Amazon. Make sure that you're getting something that's a good quality.
Okay.
And then you can get, you know, the binders from there, like charcoal and things like that. You can also get a colon cleanse. I like to use Health Plus Super Colon Cleanse. And you can get that on Amazon as well. Okay, it's a gentle cleanse, but it helps you make sure that it ensures that you have good. Oh, thank you, honey. So this is what it looks like. Oops. Wait, no. So this is Super Colon Cleanse from Health Plus.
Okay.
This is what we use. Okay. But again, if you want the whole kit, you know, then this is the website to get it. If not, you can get all the other things from Amazon. But if you'd like to support another ministry, you can support them. We do carry the Parasite Buster or the anti-parasite tincture. We call it Nature's Parasite Buster. So we carry that as well. It's in glycerin form.
Okay.
It's a glycerite. And if you guys are interested, email us, let us know. For those of you who are local, yes, let us know. You can also go on our website. You'll find it on our website as well. Okay. One of my most favorite Bible verses, heal me, O Lord, and I shall be healed. Save me, and I shall be saved, for thou art my praise. Let's remember that we have a divine physician who is mighty to save and mighty to heal.
Amen.
Like my daughter has, she lives in her own house, but she has a pet. And I wanted to know if, are you likely to get worms just by touching the pet, or only if they lick you?
If the pet, it depends. If the pet is the pet in the house?
Yes. The
Mm.
Himalayan, it's only in the house. It's never outside.
Oh, it's never outside. Okay. So technically, if it licks you, if you pet it, I don't.
Please have people to mute their lines, please. Somebody's in the kitchen and it's very distorted. I'm sorry.
Yes. Okay, go ahead.
I think we should have people raise their hands.
My niece said
yes. Sister Veronica, your audio is
two scenarios. One is if you have a pet that is only inside. Oh, darn. All right.
okay. So I think I got her question. She said that can you still get parasites by petting? Again, some of these parasites are actually tend to be airborne, and you can actually inhale some of them. So technically you could still get parasites from even just petting them. But you know, I would give my pets diatomaceous earth to help, you know, with parasites and things like that. My sister's dog is actually always in the house. When you know, it only goes outside when it needs to go to the bathroom and things like that. And when it does, you know, as soon as the pet goes inside, she cleans it up, wipes it down, wipes its behind and things like that. So that helps. But again, just keep in mind that, you know, these pets still carry parasites, and they carry it into our homes. Okay. But, you know, like I said, diatomaceous earth helps with that. Okay. And definitely washing hands. You know, if you've done, like, we have pets as well, and every time we pet them and, you know, we play with them, as soon as we come back in, or even if they're inside the house, so we'll pet the dog, my sister's dog, but we always wash our hands. We don't, I always tell the kids, don't just stick your finger in your mouth. You never know what you have. Okay.
How much diatomaceous earth should we feed our pets?
That's a good question. I know that you can, what we've done is we put it in their little, like, we kind of sprinkle it on their food. So I would say, depending on how big or how heavy the pet is, I would start out with like a teaspoon and just sprinkle it on their food.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
We'll just ask that everyone mute themselves, and then you'll raise your hand if you want to speak, and then we'll and you could unmute yourself as we call out your names. I think Dorell's hand is raised.
Dorell.
Hi, good evening.
Hi.
All right. So I think I'm mixing up bacteria and parasites. There are good and bad bacteria, right? Are there good and bad parasites?
There's good bacteria, but yes, parasites tend to stick to a host. I think that's the difference. It tends to stick to a host, just like parasites, and sometimes it'll live in us for years and years without being detected. But you know, it is causing issues in us. They are eating what we're eating. They're eating our nutrients and things like that. So
there's no good parasites, right?
Yes, there's no good parasites.
There's no good.
Yes.
Okay. Because I was gonna say, when we were children, every back to school in the summer, we would get a washout, right? So growing up, you know, doing the sciences and so on, I used to wonder if you know, we were killing the good bacteria as well. And as I said, I'm mixing it up with parasites, but you're saying parasites is a no.
Yes.
You're saying parasites is bad.
Yes, definitely.
Okay.
Yeah, there's a difference between bacteria and parasites. Yes.
All right. I got the gist. I got it.
Praise the Lord.
All right. Yes.
All right. I think we have Sister Joy, who's next. Had her hand raised. You might want to unmute yourself, Sister Joy. There you go. You got it? There you go.
Okay.
There you go.
So do I understand that the first step, which is the Mimosa Pudica seeds?
Pudica.
Yeah. We take that and we need that. And do we also take the parasite buster at the same time?
Yes. Yes, you have to take both at the same time.
Those
So the Mimosa Pudica capsules you're taking in the morning on an empty stomach.
Okay.
Okay. And then the parasite buster or the anti-parasitic blend, you take that with meals twice a day.
Okay.
And then the Pudica.
Okay.
Yeah. So
and
the Mimosa
this is
Pudica,
the one you have. You have this one, right?
The parasite buster. Yes, I do have that one. Yes.
Okay, great. And then the Health Plus Super Colon Cleanse is after you've completed the other two steps? You don't only do
So
the
the
health.
mimosa, the health, the colon cleanse, basically, you want to ensure that you're having good bowel movement. So
Okay.
I would suggest we like to take it in the evening. So let's say you're gonna start tomorrow.
Okay.
I would already start on, let's say, you take I usually take like 2 capsules, 2 to 4 capsules. So I'll take it at night. And then in the morning, I do my business and everything. You start on the parasite cleanse. And then, if you've gone through the whole day and you notice that you haven't had a bowel movement, I would take another 2. You know what I'm
Okay.
saying? So
Okay.
yeah, or scoop, because I know that for Health Plus, they have a powdered one and they have one um they have a capsulated one.
Okay. Very
So
good.
just make sure that you're constantly having, not constantly, but you're having 2 to 3 bowel movements per day. If you've only had, one that day and you want to make sure that you're getting everything out, I would take another 2 and later in the evening.
Okay. So make sure I understand the Paducah seeds and that tincture or mixture is one thing. And then we have the parasite buster and colon cleanser is separate, and we understand what that's for. And lastly, the binder.
The binders,
Yeah.
yes.
Okay, and so the binders, let's just say we're going to use charcoal. Maybe we need to use some other things as well.
Yes. So let's say charcoal, you use charcoal. Make sure that you're not taking the charcoal right along with the other things, because we know that charcoal will bind to everything and and take it out. So I would at least give it about 30 minutes in between, an hour in between even, after you've taken like the mimosa pudica, and the nature's parasite buster or the parasite cleanse blend or anti-parasitic blend.
Let's put that up for them one more time. Hold on. Oh, good. You can still feel the questions.
Yes. So did that answer your question, Miss Joy?
Yeah, I think I'm clear. You pretty much need to do all of these during the process, and they all have a different purpose.
Yes. Yes.
But
you just don't want to mix the especially if you're taking charcoal, you just don't want to mix the charcoal the same time you're taking the mimosa pudica or the nature's parasite buster.
Okay.
Okay. Because it'll cancel it out.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. All right.
So there it is on the screen again, just for those of you so you can kind of visualize what the parasite cleanse is. And the mimosa pudica was both on an empty stomach, morning and evening. So.
Okay. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you for the question,
yes.
Miss Joy. And then I think we have Andrea, who has their hand raised. Good
evening, everyone. Miss Joy pretty much asked the question that I was gonna ask, and I'm fully satisfied. The only thing though, you said drink the charcoal. The binder is like up to an hour after we take the parasite cleanse.
Yes.
Okay, I have some other bitters that I normally use for parasite cleanse, which normally helps me a lot. I could continue using those. Okay.
Yeah, if you have something like that, yeah, I would take that. I would take it.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
I have one more question. Where is it? Okay.
Somebody else had a question, Andrea?
There's a parasite cleanse that says Renew. Is it a good brand?
Renewal. Is that on Amazon?
No, it's not. I don't know if it's on Amazon, but it's at the health food store.
A health food store. That's a parasite cleanse. I would stick to just the mimosa pudica, because I have seen some parasite blends and things like that, anti-parasitic blends, and For me, it doesn't work as, you know, and we've had a lot of people, numerous people that we've helped, you know, guided them through doing a parasite cleanse, and it doesn't quite do the job as well as the Mimosa pudica.
Okay, who sell it? Who sell? What site do we get the mimosa?
Like I said, you can get the Mimosa pudica either on Amazon or from Closure for Jesus or Sister Dana.
Okay.
Yes, you can get it from them or Amazon. We've gotten some from Amazon before, and we've sent it to several people. So you can do that as well.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you for your question.
Thank you
Don't
for your
forget, for those of
question.
you just coming in, we're going to be uploading this video, the recording of this, the Q&A, and also the presentation on our YouTube channel, City Exodus, on our YouTube channel, okay? For those of you who came in a little late. All right, I think we have another question from iPhone.
You can unmute.
I'm not sure who iPhone is, but
I think it's me. Hi, my name is Tanya.
Hi, Tanya.
I have a question along for the past. So after you do the first treatment, I was told that this also works. It's called Tutka. I was gonna get your input on it. Are you familiar with this?
What is it called? I'm sorry.
It's called Tutka. TUDCA. 500.
Tudka. I have never heard of Tudka. But if you were and who you said someone told you about it?
Well, someone recommended that after you take the Manuka, I can't pronounce that. They said that
the Mimosa pudica, yes.
You do the mimosa, they recommended to continue with this so you can kill off the eggs of the parasite.
Oh, okay.
Tudka is a bile salt.
Yeah.
Tudka is bile salt. Okay.
Yes, it's a bile salt.
Okay. Yes.
It's tabur tarus hydrochloric acid. So it's not a natural product, what I'm understanding.
Yes. And if it was suggested to you, like I said, you can take Tudka if you'd like. Eating regularly pumpkin seeds will also do the job in helping kill parasites as well. We actually, during our health class, we demoed papaya seeds. And they actually did a randomized study, and parasite seeds were the ones that we were recommending when we were in Kenya, because we couldn't find any Mimosa pudica in Kenya, but they had papayas. So I did, some research on it, and let me read to you the randomized study that was done. 60 asymptomatic Nigerian children. So asymptomatic, basically they didn't have any symptoms, but they did a test, and stool evidence of intestinal parasites received immediate doses of air-dried papaya seeds with honey, okay? Because they saw that these 60 Nigerian children had parasites in their stool. And so for 7 days, every day they gave, I think it was twice a day that they were giving the papaya seeds, the air-dried papaya seeds with honey. And after the 7 days, no harmful side effects this is from PubMed. This article is from PubMed. And clearance rate was between 71.4% and 100%.
Wow.
Okay, now you can use it as preventative treatments against intestinal parasites, especially if you're in a tropical community. And like I said, anything bitter will also do the job. Okay.
Can you eat papaya seeds raw without having to dry them, or is that?
You can, but they're more potent when they are dried, when they're air dried, because when it's fresh, it still has a lot of water content, but when they're dried, they're more potent. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you.
You're welcome. So we actually had a lot of people try the papaya seeds with honey at our health class on Sunday. It really tastes like black pepper. If you've ever tasted black pepper, it tastes just like black pepper, except it's it's anti-inflammatory. It doesn't cause inflammation in the body. You can actually use it to substitute for black pepper. That's what we use if there's a recipe that calls for black pepper. I air dry some papaya seeds, grind them up in a coffee grinder, and store them in a little bottle, and that's what we use for black pepper.
Because black pepper is inflammatory, right?
That's right. Black pepper is very inflammatory. Yes.
I think there was a question in the chat. The white seeds in the picture, the green seeds were pumpkin seeds that you had earlier. What were the white seeds there?
I believe the white seeds were sunflower seeds.
You want me to put that back up?
No, I could pull it up in here. Yeah, I believe there were sunflower seeds.
And they're asking how many seeds do you take? So that
I would do 2 tablespoons. Oh yeah, no, that's pumpkin seeds.
Oh, pumpkin seeds.
Yeah, that's pumpkin seeds that it's shelled.
Oh god.
Or it's in its shell. Yeah.
Okay.
Excuse me, on Amazon, any mimosa will do, or there's a special brand?
Just make sure it's not from China. Okay. And there's a lot. I think I could. Let me pull it up. There's one that we've used before. It's capsules. And you want to get one that, definitely read the ratings, read what people are saying about it. And just because something is cheap, like let's say, it's $10 compared to one that's $30, like just because it's cheap, it doesn't necessarily mean that it's good. Sometimes a lot of these things can have other fillers, and it's not pure Mimosa Pudica. Like I like the one that's it's called Supreme Nutrition Mimosa Supreme. That one's good. And like I said, support our other medical missionaries. Sister Dana has a really good Mimosa Pudica capsules. So I would get it from her. If she's out, then definitely go on to Amazon.
They mentioned
there's one that already has black walnut and wormwood. That's the mimosa seed.
What's that?
There's a mimosa seed that has black walnut and wormwood combined. Everything is combined together as capsules.
Oh, everything is combined together. Again, you can do that. You can take that if everything is combined together already. I would try it out and see. Again, and also read the reviews from the people that have taken it.
Sure.
Somebody said, Sister Linda B, how many seeds, how many papaya seeds to take? I heard that too many can be detrimental. Yes, you do anything that you take too much of, it will be bad. So you don't I usually, for when we were in Kenya, I told them to do 1 tablespoon of papaya seeds. If they're a child, I would use half of that. Okay. And just 1 tablespoon with a little bit of, just a tad bit of honey, just to coat, just to make it taste a little bit better, I guess. You don't need a lot, and then eat it like that. You have to chew it. It releases more of the anti-parasitic properties when you chew it, as opposed to just swallowing it down.
How many times per day?
I would start out with once per day, and see if that helps. But you can take it, 2 times a day if you need to.
And it works for adults.
And I would only do it for about 7 days.
And it also works for adults?
Yes, if again, given the environment, given the diet that you have, yes, it does help too. It doesn't work for me. It doesn't work as well as the Mimosa Pudica, especially for the more mature parasites, but it does it definitely does help.
Okay. Thank you very much.
Can you just going the dried papaya seeds? Sorry, can you just going the dried papaya seeds? Oh, grind. Yes. Yeah, I guess you can grind it. I know some people that sprinkle it on their food. They grind it, sprinkle it on their food, and then they eat it like that. So that, that may help as far as the taste. Yes. Next question, Sister Janet. Oh, it's nice that you were able to join us. Please unmute yourself.
Okay. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Okay, perfect. Oh, nice to see y'all.
Oh, it's nice
Yes.
to see you.
Yes, I just have a question. When do you know when to stop the cleanse? Like, I know that it can go all the way to 90 days, as you were saying, but when do you
90 days
know?
is more recommended again for somebody who has like a chronic disease or
Okay.
multiple chronic diseases. So, but if you're just a healthy individual, you don't really have any health issues, I would maybe just do the full moon challenge, start the 3 days, and that's it.
Okay.
If
Sounds
you
good.
are, I would say the mimosa pudica is not recommended for nursing or pregnant women. For pregnant
Okay.
women, I would suggest the bitter herbs, the what do you call that? Pumpkin seeds, you can
Okay.
do some of that, but for nursing and pregnant women, I wouldn't suggest the mimosa pudica.
Okay. And also, when do you recommend this cleanse to be done yearly or like you said, I think you said every quarterly, I think that you said? Or
Yes.
that's
So
just for a person.
depending on, the person, if you're a fairly healthy individual, a parasite cleanse once a year will suffice. But if you want to, just to, make sure that you're getting it out constantly, especially if, along with your, your lifestyle and your diet, I would do it maybe quarterly or twice a year, twice a year, especially if you're a healthy individual, annually to twice a year.
Okay.
And if you do have some health issues, then yes, I suggest quarterly, even monthly.
And for children, you would like you said, the papaya seeds just dry it and grind, given to them with honey. Half a
I give my
half a spoon.
For my children, I give them the parasite buster. I give them that. I've given them the mimosa pudica, but lower, because it all depends also on your weight. For me, I could take like four capsules at a time. Now, I'm of course, 3 times bigger than my children. So my children, I give them, and I put theirs because in a capsule, so I put them in like, a little bit of juice, and then I have them shake it up a little bit and have them drink it that way.
Got it.
And then the Parasite Buster, they love it because it's in glycerin. So they're like, oh yeah, we want some of that, And I give them, instead of giving them, well, my 12-year-old, I give them pretty much a full dosage. And the two little ones, I give them about half to a quarter.
Okay, so half to about
quarter to half.
Okay. I think that is all of and then just for an individual, like a gentleman, like fully, you would just recommend that whole kit should just be bought and there's instructions, or follow this instruction that you have given us, right?
She has instructions. I believe she also has a blog on her website about it. And you can always also watch her video on parasites if you want more information. But I do recommend her. If you want the whole kit, I would definitely get it for her. And
okay,
I talked to her the other day. I'm not sure how much she has left of the kits and the blends. But if she doesn't, if it's no longer available, then I would go into Amazon or yeah, I would there's another website, I forgot what it's called now. Vitacost. Vitacost is another place where you can get, health products and things like that. They're very similar to Amazon, but they also do like a 3-day shipping and things like that. I like Vitacost.
Yeah. Okay. Sounds good. Thank you so much. I appreciate y'all doing this recording and video for us.
Oh, praise the Lord. Praise the Lord. Thank you
What's
for
the
joining
name
us.
of the other company you said?
Thank you.
Vitacost.
Vitacost.
Vitacost. You're welcome. Alex just said there's only one kit left on the website of Sister Dana's. So I would definitely look into I think I mentioned to you guys the one that I recommend. It's Supreme Nutrition Mimosa Supreme. It's Mimosa Pudica seed capsules. I don't know if you can see it, but it's this one. Oh, it's that one. Yep. It's on Amazon. It's about $29. And there's ones that are, pretty, it looks pretty cheap and things like that. But I suggest you guys get the Mimosa Supreme. That's the one we usually get for our patients, our health guests. Next question. Auntie Shadi. Please, there you go.
Thank you so much, Kim and Annie, for the presentation. Yes, this is Mpadi from South Africa.
Wow, hello, my sister. How amazing.
Okay. Yeah. So, yeah, like you were saying, the mimosa pudica is not available in Kenya. Yeah, I haven't also seen it here in South Africa. So I wanted to check for mature parasites. If I don't have the mimosa, what else can I use? And regarding the blend, the black walnut and the wormwood, yes. Because I will not be able, I think, to get it from you guys. Is it possible that you can help me on how to make it? Or is there somewhere else that I can get it? Yes.
Yeah, sure. Please send us an email regarding that. And I know that when we were in Kenya, I don't know about South Africa, but when we were in Kenya, we saw a lot of wormwood, believe it or not, like the plant wormwood. Yeah, so you can definitely use that. And again, you can use the bitter herbs, you can use papaya seeds. Allison just put, I bought a papaya last week. It had no seeds. I threw it out, Jimmo. Don't you? We went to Sprouts yesterday, and we did a little bit of groceries, and I couldn't find any grapes with seeds. Everything, yeah, it was seedless. So I told Ernie, I'm like, we need to plant our own grapes. But yes. So I hope that answers your question, Sister Shadi.
Okay, yes, I'll send you an email.
Okay.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Next one is Eloisa.
Yes.
Sister Eloisa, hi.
Hi, how are you? Thank you for the presentation.
Praise the Lord.
I have a question about the mimosa. I checked Amazon, there are capsules. Do they have gelatin in them?
You have to make sure that it's the non-gelatin. I know there's ones that it's vegetable. They use vegetable cellulose.
Okay.
So yeah, make sure you're not consuming things that has gelatin.
Right. That was my concern.
Yes.
So
Absolutely.
if I get that, that's all I would need other things.
So if you have the Mimosa Pudica, you would also need some kind of anti-parasitic blend, like our Parasite Buster or Sister Dana's parasitic blend capsules.
Right, but she doesn't have any now. Would she get like the kid has everything, but you said she only has one?
Just one kit, but I did see that she had, because she also sells them separately. So there's like the anti-parasitic blend capsules that she sells. She, I think it's like, if I'm not mistaken, I think it's $35. And I believe she still has some, or maybe it's, I'm not sure. I didn't get to look at it this morning.
No problem. I'll double
I would
check.
check with her, I would check hers.
Yes.
And then if she doesn't have any, let us know. We always carry our Parasite Buster as well, but it's a tincture form, not in capsules.
Okay, that's even better. Thank you.
You're welcome. Andrea.
Did you put your contact in the chat? I'm sorry.
Yes, we did. Our website is SDA. Let me type it again. Oops. SDA City Exodus.com. There we go. Okay. And Sister Andrea, you can mute yourself. Brother Alex Reina said Sister Dana has the anti-parasite cleanse or blend on her website. So she does have it available. Yay.
I'm sorry, that was an accident.
Oh, that's okay. Sister Jasper. Hello, hello.
Can you hear me, Sister Kim?
I can hear you. Yes, I can hear you.
Oh, thank you so much for your wonderful presentation. We really appreciate.
Praise the Lord. Praise the Lord.
Definitely been a blessing. For the information, like we all are, me and my two kids are down with cold, and like we've been crying and praying to the Lord, like, what is this? And we tried like a lot of herbs and teas like that. Yes. And your presentation was an answer to God's prayer.
Amen.
Praise
the Lord. Praise the Lord.
And I've been doing actually I don't know like what, like I went to this Indian grocery store and I never get to see neem leaves, which always my mom used to give us when we were kids. And she usually do like once in 3 months. She make a paste like out of neem leaf just with water, and then she grind it and give it a small like a tiny piece, and then ask us to take some honey, something sweet after that.
Yeah.
For parasite cleanse. And
neem is bitter.
Yes, it is bitter. And then I did the same thing with my kids and myself, like maybe 3-4 days ago. Like I drank, like, we took as a tea.
Yes.
Yeah. But thank you so much. It really was so helpful for all of us.
Oh, praise the Lord. Praise the Lord. Yes, neem. I even forgot about neem. Neem is also has anti-parasitic properties. Yes. That's wonderful.
Yeah.
Thank you, sister.
You're welcome.
Give the kids a hug for us.
Sure, we will.
All right. I think those are the only questions we have. Let me check the chat. What is your thoughts on capsule covers? I think we answered that. Make sure that it's vegetable cellulose. Do you recommend opening capsules and take the contents only? You can do that. You can definitely do that if you want to mix it into some water or tea. You could do that as well. And the parasite. Okay. All right. I think those are the only questions we have. Thank you so much for joining us. We hope to see you all again on our next Zoom class. We have it at least for the community, we have it monthly, and we try to do some topics for our ministry every now and then, and we will definitely get the information out on our next topic. What is your website? Our website is sdacityexodus.com. Oops. Exodus.com. And then you guys can always email us as well. SDA City Exodus at yahoo.com. If you, as long as the medicine or supplement is not marked as extended release, it's okay to open the capsule. Oh, thank you for that, Sister Lillian. Thank you. Thank you. She is a pharmacist, I believe, right? So she's saying that as long as the medicine or supplement is not marked as extended release, it's okay to open the capsule. Some medicines and supplements are specially made to be digested lower in the gut. Thank you for that information. Awesome. Thank you. Thank you, everyone. God bless you. Thank you for joining us.